My name is David White. I'll be graduating his place April 24th, 2021. I'm from a small town, northeast Alabama, a little town called Sylvania. I grew up in church, was always taught there was a God, what Jesus had done for us. You know, I had a family that really cared enough to get me into church and try to show me the right way. I grew up playing football, basketball every winter, you know, baseball during the summers. Had a pretty busy life, you know. My parents was always there for me. I graduated high school, got my first job, was doing pretty good with myself, building bridges. Started running around with crew, you know, on the roads, just drinking here and there, you know, and eventually that progressed into drinking every weekend. Then I settled back down, quit using anything for a couple of years. And then in 2012, I lost my son. This is a big part of my, it's a big loss in my life. Just felt like I was empty inside. And after that, it seemed to just crumble, just all together. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. Just couldn't get no peace. Any direction I went, it just seemed like I was still empty. Started drinking again. Eventually led to using oxycotton. Still wasn't filling the void that I had in my heart. Then it led on to tried some cocaine. I'd done it for a short amount of time. Then after a couple months of using cocaine, it just realized, I mean, I still had that emptiness, and I was searching for something to fill that emptiness in my heart. You know, just during the time, I just kept asking God, why me? Why do I have to go through this? You know, what have I done to deserve this life? And during all that, I still just felt this emptiness in my heart. And one day I was introduced to methamphetamines. You know, my first high was just like, wow. It numbed that feeling in my heart. That emptiness I had, it just seemed like it fulfilled it. Then I stayed doing methamphetamines for about 15 years. Was in and out of jail. You know, every time I'd go to jail, my parents, you know, they would come to bail me out. You know, I'll bail you out this time, son. Are you ready to straighten up? You know, and at the time, yes, of course. Yeah, Dad, I'm ready to straighten up. You know, and it wasn't long until they figured out, yeah, just long enough for me to get you out of jail. Finally, I had burnt pretty much every bridge. Nobody seemed to want to help me, which really wasn't everybody else. It was me. I didn't want to help myself. I wanted to feel sorry for myself, you know, and thought that I was owed everything, just everything that would be given to me for what I had been through. This last time I was in jail, my cousin, she reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to come to his place. I was just wanting out of jail. I mean, at that time I didn't care where, but I wanted to go somewhere but jail. So I agreed, yes. You know, I came down here to his place. Just mainly to get out of jail, but as I come down here, met all these guys and started going to class, God started working in my life. It just seemed like God just really started to turn my life around. Started working in my life, showing me things, rebuilt relationships with my family. I mean, I didn't know if they'd ever be rebuilt. Just started showing me the right path to walk. Show me that you can do things sober. See that you can go out, live a good life, have fun. You don't have to be high to do that. And that void in my heart is still filled without the drugs. I mean, I praise God for places like this, and I'm anxious to see where my walk goes from here. It's amazing to me how Kenny just kind of, he says, you give it all to addiction. Once you go as hard for Jesus, just give it one shot, go as hard as you can for Jesus as you did in your addiction. See where it leads you, and live for Him. Just pray about everything. It's amazing what I've learned. It is amazing what prayer will do in your life. Just having a relationship with God. Your prayer life's everything. I want to thank you for watching this video. I want to thank everybody who gives to Harvest Evangelism, gives a chance for guys like me to spend a year of their life in a place like this, to get their life together and live for Jesus Christ.